All right, so I'm here with cornerback Nyzier Fourqurean. You can just look at me. People, when it comes to a bye week, people talk about like, oh, they get extra time to work on the next opponent. But like, what does that mean? Like, how much are you able to accomplish during a bye week? Like for the next opponent for Oregon?
Yeah, obviously, going into like a regular week, you only have 5 days probably to like really get into the game plan and things like that. So I think just having the bye week, just an extra week to just try and like get a feel for the things we during the bye week, just go over more of their plays. Like even though it's a lighter week of practice, we still just rep some of their plays, rep some of their formations, just slowly, like little by little, each and every day. And I think it's just better for film wise. You can really try and break down the film, especially with a team like Oregon that has a pretty complex, I would say, offense that does a lot of like motions and things like that. I think you can just break it down little by formations and things like that to get a head start.
Talking about Oregon's offense, like, what is their identity? Like, what do they like to do?
Yeah, we feel that they definitely like to rely on their playmakers. Obviously, the receivers are very talented receivers that have made a lot of plays for them this year. They have a very talented quarterback, and we know that they're going to try and live and just thrive on explosives. So I would say definitely explosives are their biggest thing.
Mm-hmm. Now, just generally, like when it comes to explosives or like in a team that could be as explosive as this, like, is there any sort of like little like tactics or strategies that you can do to like kind of like throw them off their game? Whether it's physicality or anything like that.
Yeah, definitely. I think playing aggressive, just like say for my position, I just say like trying to be more aggressive in press coverage when I'm running press coverage, even in zones, trying to be more matchy. So like instead of giving them space throughout the zones, you're just kind of like just playing over top of things, trying to like get hands on, get your body on body, so that they can't really get into space, because we know that they're fast and they're going to like space just because they're athletes. The way to eliminate those type of things is just give them less space. So just trying to stay on top and play aggressive as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, when I've talked to some of the guys on defense, when it comes to like past offenses, like I remember during that 3-game win streak, you guys, or like certain players were talking about how you guys were emphatic on taking their right hand away, like taking their best thing away. Like, what is Oregon's best thing, and also like going into the game, like what's like the one thing like if we do this, then we have a real chance.
Yeah, going back on it, probably just explosives. Honestly, I think one of the games they had over is like 10 explosives. Like a lot of the games, they just have a ton of explosives, and the way to win explosives is, the way to win the game is eliminate explosives and get turnovers. So we have to really harp on getting turnovers, and we have to harp on just limiting the explosives, just slowing down the pass game.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Dylan Gabriel, because his kind of reputation precedes him. Like he's up there for like Heisman odds and all that. Like, in simple words, like what's special about him?
Yeah, I think he's just a very talented quarterback. I think he's an all-around quarterback. I think on film I can see him, say he has a one-on-one matchup to the backside, like to the boundary. He might look away that safety to try and get him to go to the field, and then very last second just heave it down to his receiver, back to the backside with a one-on-one matchup. I think he really trusts his receivers, trusts their speed, to try and just give them those balls to just go and make a play. I think he can also run the ball and extend the play throughout the pocket and just scramble and things like that. I think he's just an all-around quarterback in general. So.
Now, when it comes to the receivers, like Tej Johnson is obviously like he leads in all the categories, but like they're not overly reliant on him. Mm-hmm. Is it tougher to face an offense that has multiple weapons like that could do damage versus like a few guys? Like, can you talk about the difference in that?
Yeah, I'd definitely say it's probably a little bit more difficult. Obviously, when you have a guy that's kind of like a Waddle type of guy, we call him, is like a Waddle, a guy where you always want to know where he's at. It's obviously your game plan is going to be more focused around him, and usually if you can limit whatever he does, then you have to make the number 2 or number 3 receiver do what they have to do, take those catches on and things like that. But when you have a group of guys that can all pretty much do that type of thing, it's definitely harder, because you have to win your one-on-one matchups across the board, and you just have to focus on everybody instead of just focusing on one player to limit the offense.
When it comes to a quarterback like Gabriel, like you guys have faced like a couple like pretty damn good quarterbacks this year. Does it mean something to like be able to take down a team like with a quarterback like that, like especially like in this modern age of college football? Like, does it mean something to the locker room, to the team, to be able to like stop a guy as good as him?
Absolutely. Just along with him just being a Heisman candidate, just being the number 1 team in the country, obviously nobody really believes in us to have a chance in this game. So just that opportunity to take a team like this down just gives us a lot of momentum, it gives us a lot of confidence, and just proves that we know that we can do it. Just proves to the guys that we can do it. So.
Mm-hmm. Now, and you guys have faced this is your 3rd top 3 matchup of the year. Talking about AP poll or whatever. Does like going against those teams, does that give you guys more confidence, and like does it make it seem like less of a big deal?
Yeah, I would definitely say so, just because we're more comfortable and we've been through it before. Obviously, we talk about all the time, Alabama, we don't think that we fully, as a defense or as a whole even, just capitalize on a lot of things that we need to do. We let the game maybe get a little bit bigger than what it was in some aspects. I think Penn State, we did a little bit better of a job, and I just feel like we're coming along that way. So.
talk about the Alabama game. You know, like that was a team with pretty high-powered offense. You know, great receivers, great quarterback. What are you going to take from that game? Like, what did you guys learn from that game that's going to help you against Oregon, you think?
I think just our ability to compete. Obviously, the score doesn't show. I feel like the score doesn't show. I think there was a couple of plays that really made the difference in the game, which that's football. At the end of the day, a couple of plays are what changes the game. But I think there's our ability to show that we can compete. I think we competed at least from a defensive as a whole. But I'm talking about mainly defense right now, just because I play defense.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we really competed as a whole, and I think we played to the end. So I think that just gives us confidence going into the next game.
Thank you, Nyzier.
Appreciate it.